Presidential candidate Jeb Bush has a unique tie to Idaho education.
Plus, the Nampa School District says thanks, but no thanks to the new teacher career ladder. Those stories and more in tonight's Making the Grade with Idaho Education News reporter Kevin Richard. Making the Grade on this Wednesday. Kevin, we're crossing over with education and politics a little bit with one of the Republican presidential candidates. Tell me about Jeb Bush's foundation and its ties to Idaho.
Okay, well, this is a pretty big initiative for the state in education. This is a movement towards what's known as mastery-based learning. And what that really means for your child is children will move through the school system based on how much they know, how much have they mastered in subject matter. It's not the traditional grade system where you spend a year in 4th grade and then you move on to 5th grade. So the state is moving towards mastery. Now, where Jeb Bush's foundation for excellence in education enters the picture is that they're working as kind of an unpaid consultant to the state as the state tries to roll out pilots of the mastery program next year. So that's kind of the interesting sidelight to it.
Did Jeb Bush do this as governor in Florida, or what's the connection here?
No, and that's kind of interesting too, is that the foundation is kind of in the same place as the state of Idaho. It's kind of a new concept to them as well. So, you know, they're both sort of working their way through it.
Well, we'll see where perhaps education and politics cross over as you continue to follow this. Another story you were writing about on Idaho Education News is the fact that Nampa, the school district, has decided not to necessarily go with the teacher career ladder plan.
That's right.
They don't have to?
They don't have to. School districts can basically go their own way. So the state established this career ladder to boost teacher pay. But all of the contracts and all of the master agreements, those are settled and drawn up at the local level. So what Nampa has decided to do, took them all summer. They're finally to the point of having a tentative agreement that goes back to the union, goes back to the school board. And what they're doing this year is basically they're going to put the money that the state added for teacher pay, and they're just going to kind of put it into the old system while they spend this next year trying to work out the mechanics of the career ladder. They're not the only district in this situation. It's a very complicated process. So there are other districts that are just saying, hey, whoa, let's take a step back. We'll work it out next year.
Implement it in little steps at a time. You're going to have two pieces coming up tomorrow or Friday. One in particular of importance to me of Jim Everett, the CEO, president for a long time, 30 years or so of the YMCA. Yeah. And he has been such an advocate of education, not just of getting kids healthy, but explain what you're going to be talking with him about.
I sat down and spoke to Jim Everett, who has been with the YMCA for 41 years. I mean, this has been his career. And a big chunk of that career has not just been running a YMCA and running youth programs. He's been very active on education issues, very visible on the debate over pre-K, very active in terms of trying to build up partnerships with school districts. I mean, this school that they're hoping to build in Meridian with a Y and a library attached is an example. That's the kind of thing that he's really trying to advocate and has really tried to advocate. So I sat down and talked education with him. It's an interesting talk.
I love that. And that piece will post tomorrow?
We will have that this week, yes.
Excellent. And the other piece you're working on is something with immunization numbers, something we've been talking about here with Making the Grade. What did you find? Can you give me a little nugget when you decided to break these down?
Well, what we did, we looked at the numbers district by district. Now, these are year-old numbers. It's the newest we've got. And we looked at why are some districts so much lower than others. And with a lot of statistics in schools, what you find is that it's not as simple as the numbers make it sound. The district said that it's complicated in terms of reporting, tracking kids, with who's immunized and who isn't. So we explain that. We take a closer look at that, and you'll be able to see where districts stack up.
And you can see both of those stories coming up on idahoednews.org. Simple to go there, click on the page, and read all of Kevin's work and the rest of the crew over at Idaho Education News. Thanks for making the grade, Kevin.
Thank you.